Hello, world. Welcome to the 149th climate change emergency protest here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It is October 15th, 2021. The next one will be October 22nd, 2021, and that'll be number 150. So this is number 149. After I talk here, I will go up to Climate Change Protest Corner up on York Street and the Gettysburg Square and do my little protest here for a little bit and then go home. So hopefully you guys listen through this broadcast as to what's coming up and about a mental attitude we all need right now. The world needs it. Okay, right now the CO2, the carbon dioxide level is 413.9. The safe level since 1750 and before, humans have lived in that era for the last 140,000 years between 200 and 280 parts per million. So we're at 413 parts per million. We're blown past the safe level with stopping any temperature rise or any feedback loops, and we're in deep trouble that way. 413 versus 280 for the max, not 350 as those organizations put out. Carbon dioxide will climb all the way up starting now until May, probably hit 424 parts per million. The reason behind that is the deciduous trees stop producing oxygen at this point due to northern hemisphere. And so this carbon dioxide level, just like being in a closed room, starts going up and up and up. Right now, the carbon dioxide level is higher than the Pliocene era. And the Pliocene era, which was 3 million years ago, was the oceans were 80 feet higher, and also the air was 2 to 3 degrees warmer. So we are really pushing the edge of survivability by passing this landmark situation and continuing on with our path of burning fossil fuels. The rate of emissions that we're having of carbon dioxide is the highest since the dinosaur era, and you know what happened to them. So our rate is just, the amount of carbon dioxide we're putting in the air is just astronomical. Right now we're on the path of 4.8 degrees Celsius rise at the very minimum. I think we're going to hit a bunch of feedback loops way before that. That'll kick it up to 8 degrees Celsius. It'll vaporize anything on the planet basically around the equator. And it'll be tiny pockets surviving, but it'll be very difficult to survive as humans. Most modern humans can't survive on their own in this type of situation. This is called an existential threat. Many politicians have said that in the past, and now they're all quiet. Existential means an immediate life-threatening situation. The United Nations IPCC Commission put out a code red for humanity recently, and that means the trouble to survive. It's a warning. It's a severe warning that we're in big trouble as a society. And I see it as code black right now. We need to work backwards from there. Code black means you're dead on arrival. You are not you have not survived the path you're on, and your entire population and civilization will collapse. So unless we work our way back from this is the kind of situation we're in right now. We're in a code black. Carbon dioxide and temperature, there's a delay between carbon dioxide levels. So we're at 413, 420 parts per million, and we should be at 280 and below. And there's a 10 to 30 year delay with temperature catching up to the carbon dioxide. So, we're in deep trouble that way, and that we have a lot of temperature built into our system that by the time people are another 20 years older, we're going to see some severe heating of temperatures around the whole world, if we're even surviving by then. As you can tell with all the trucks and everything, the United States is not on any sort of path to green energy or green technology. No way, no how. This is just truck alley in the morning, and it's pretty early in the morning when I'm doing this broadcast. It's like this. So this is the COP26 on October 31st. This is a meeting getting together for the whole world to get together. It's the COP26, October 31st to November 12th. This is the last chance to save all life on Earth, not only humanity, but all life on Earth. If they don't come to an agreement and actually start doing things by then, and I don't mean promises and things like that, I mean actual governmental policies. If they don't get the program together by November 12th, it's over. Humanity and all life on Earth has little chance of survival if the governments don't cooperate, and they are not going to do it because they see themselves as separate entities as opposed to the whole world being related to each other. Everything affects everything else. All governments should declare a climate change emergency at this point. It shouldn't even be a question. It should be worldwide policy that everything's in a climate change emergency right now. We need actions now, not by 2050. We need things severely in place now, and by 2030, everything is in place, and we're cooking along, and we're working on combating climate change. Right now, we're going the opposite way. We need an entire restructuring of all governments, monetary, financial exchange systems, trade systems, and a totally different thought process. And this is why it's so daunting of a task. It's not going to happen. People are greedy. If you ever saw the story of a monkey with his hand in a jar around an orange, and there's a tiger coming at him, he'll hold on to the orange no matter what. And if the jar is chained to the wall, he won't escape. He won't let go of the orange. And that's where we are with the greed and corruption of the world, and as far as the governments go. And people keep voting in the same type of people all the time, same parties, same this, same that. Rather than changing their parties or just voting otherwise, they're not doing it. So, we need a different thought process. So, in order to change things, we need to stop off subsidies to fossil fuel industry. No more offshore drilling, no more permits. The Biden administration has issued 2,400 permits to drilling companies. Also, the Willow Project in Alaska will produce over 1 billion barrels of oil by the 30 years of its permit running out. 1 billion barrels of oil. In England, you have the HS2 project, high-speed line 2, going to the Heathrow Airport. They built another runway at Heathrow, and they're planning on bringing in more and more air traffic into England, and that's also not needed. I mean, yeah, things are jammed up, and that's just the way it's going to have to be, rather than adding another runway and contributing to climate change. England and Great Britain has now also authorized a new coal mine. It's the first coal mine in decades, and it's going to be massive. And this is not a country that's serious about, or a Commonwealth that's serious about combating climate change. So what I'm pointing out is every country is doing bad things. China wants to advocate for a new Silk Road. This will go through Asia, Africa, and Europe. It'll be an ecological disaster. They will tear down trees, tear up the soil, and everything else. Norway has authorized 100% electric cars by this year coming up, the end of this year and next year. But they're still drilling in the North Sea. So that's another country that acts like they're doing one thing while the policies continue to do another. Russia has done a pipeline underneath the Baltic to Germany for natural gas, which is not natural, it's methane. Don't kid yourself when you hear natural gas. It's nothing but methane, a planet-ending gas. It's a greenhouse gas. Canada has authorized Line 3. Right now, the brave people and indigenous people of Minnesota are battling Line 3 and trying to stop that line going through to the United States. The significance of Line 3 and all tar sands, as well as their Trans Mountain pipeline in Canada that goes over to the Pacific. This gets the tar sand oil, which is a bitumen oil, a sludgy oil, the worst oil possible, if there is such a thing, for the world. And it pumps out bitumen oil from the tar sands, and it's another planet-ending greenhouse gas emitter. Governments are not serious about this existential threat. If they know what's going on. They have the reports. I'm not on the inside on the government or anything like that. They know what's happening. This is an existential threat. They've said so themselves. So a person that says it's imminent, this is going to happen to us, and then they're engaged in policies that contribute to that existential threat, that is called murder. You can love your government, love your country, love whatever, but that doesn't mean your government's not doing bad things. And the governments of the world are actually doing horrible things, which is committing murder on the citizens of the world. The sooner people wake up about that and get upset about it, and I recommend the next 2 to 3 weeks, because this is our last chance, I recommend that people start hitting the streets. All right, so the governments and politicians are bought and sold basically to the obscenely wealthy people and corporations of the world. There's no chance of cleaning this up. People say, well, my party all cleaned it up from the inside. No, you won't. The party's not going to clean up. It's set in motion. It's like a giant inertia machine, and it will not stop. The only way to stop it is to not vote for those people anymore. The media is complicit with what the situation is. They know what's going on. Again, they have inside information from the government and everyone else. And, it's a horrible situation that the media is also bought and sold by the corporations. They're owned by corporations, various corporations. You check into your media, who's the backer of them for money and putting out their information, and you'll get to the reason why things aren't being covered. So people need to talk and get informed and discuss about climate change, what's happening. You have basically 2 weeks to learn about climate change all you can, talk to your friends and neighbors, and then COP26 starts. That's that conference again that'll determine the fate of humanity and all life on Earth. That's from October 31st to November 12th. Another way to just, in order to get things accomplished, is not just talk, but also broadcast yourself, your displeasure at your government and what's happening. Protests, get out. I'm going to stand by myself today, or you could stand with 1 million other people. But I recommend you get out weekly, at least right now, and get things done as far as climate change goes and protesting. You can do it by yourself. This is what I do weekly. Wife shows up occasionally. Once in a blue moon, someone else will show up. So to sit by and do nothing after you know all this information that's going on is actually being complicit with the situation and contributing to the murder of all life on Earth. If you want to rectify that, start doing something. If you are okay with planet-ending horrible situation with society collapse and chaos and gangs running around wanting to take everything you have, then you're okay. But if you find that kind of egregious, then you probably need to get out and start doing something immediately. I don't mean that 5 months from now, and I don't mean one-time shot. You need to make this your life from now on. And I hate to say that to you, but that is just the case. This is what we're living with. We're living in the middle of climate change right now, and it's going to get worse and worse. And to sit by and not do something about it is just totally immoral. So yeah, be scared to death. It's not easy coming out here. This is my 149th of these. I'm getting used to it now, but things can happen. People yell at you, who knows what. But you need to get out. Terrified is okay. You're feeling that the situation's overwhelming and I can't do anything about it. But by taking action, being an activist actually takes that fear away. And the way to combat fear is to actually take action and be an activist. So be brave. That's the title of my talk. Be brave. Don't sit around and be timid, sitting in a corner, waiting for your party to take care of things around the world. It's not going to happen. As I said, the inertia machine is built in, and you're going to have trouble surviving here another 5 years, 3 years, whatever, the way things are going. So step out of your comfort zone, get out here and protest. You just might be that one person that changes things, your family, friends, talking to them, getting out. They see you're getting out, then they get out, and all of a sudden you got a surge of protesters. And that's the only thing that's going to convince politicians to do anything. Sending money to different organizations isn't going to do it. It isn't working. The only thing throughout history that has worked is protesting. So, we need high school students, and this is all gloves are off at this point. We need high school students, college students, parents, brothers, sisters, retirees, teachers, even policemen, firemen, truck drivers, everyone. Everyone needs to protest and let their politicians know this is not acceptable to go down, and we will die of extinction the way we're headed. This is just a promise. This has happened throughout history. We're in the middle of the 6 mass extinctions, so you need to get out and actually do something. So this includes people that are red, yellow, black, white, any color, green, whatever, zebra-like. So, we need everyone on the street. You cannot allow this to happen. This is an immoral situation, what's going on, and it's straight up murder by the world's governments. So hopefully everyone will get on board here in the next 2 weeks. The climate change talks in Glasgow, Scotland starts on October 31st. So I'll see you next week. That'll be October 22nd for the 150th Climate Change Emergency Protest. See you later.